Now, as we go on to topic 1 of our new chapter, chapter 2, this will eventually deal with equations and give you that extra practice, hopefully. So, a couple of little things as we go along. Identify the numerical coefficient in the following terms. Well, this is a term. There are variables, so what's the numerical coefficient? Well, it would be a negative 1. You might say, well, there's no 1 there. Well, there is. We just don't write it. Indicate whether the terms in the following list are like or unlike. Well, we had said in our lesson that like terms are determined by the variable. Are the variables the same, including the exponents? And the answer then is yes. They are like terms. Simplify each expression by combining like terms. So as we do this, we look carefully, and they are like terms. So when we combine like terms, we only deal with the numerical coefficients. So here's a positive 12, a positive 4, gives us a 16, and then we put our variable. Now here, again, you can associate these differently. This would become a positive, doing these two, 11, minus 16 would give us a negative 5y. And then here we have these two. We're going to associate them or group them together. This becomes then a 10x. Then we have a negative 4 and a positive 17. That gives us a positive 13. And then for number 6, adding these up carefully, we get a 0.9w minus 2.0. Now, you might say, how come we've put a 0.0 when we could just use 2? Well, this goes to significant digits. That is, numbers that are significant to what we're doing. And here, since they are accurate to a tenth, we should probably keep that. Although, if you put just 2 in as an answer, I wouldn't take points off for that. Now, in these next few, they want us to remove the parentheses through distribution and show our results as a product. So 10y plus 80. Now here we're going to go a negative 5 times x, get a negative 5x. A negative 5 plus 7 times a positive 7 gives us a negative 35. And then it's repeated. So then we group our like terms, a negative 10x and a negative 70. Now in number 9, this is something we'll use quite a bit. When we have a negative in front of a parenthesis, the rule is remove the parenthesis and just change all of the signs internally. So this was a positive. It will now become a negative. This was a negative. It will now become a positive. This was a positive, and it will now become a negative. And the same here. We're multiplying through by a negative 6. It will change all these signs, plus be multiplied by 6. So how about, let's correct this little error here I see. 3 times 6 is 18. Yes, let's do that. Remember, if you see an error, you can get a star. in the celestial mathematical sky here. And then here this will be a positive 36y, and this will be a positive 24. Going on to 11, we distribute 8x, distribute negative 40, then we collect like terms, and we get 8x minus 28. We distribute, notice the sign change, collect like terms, and we get this. Again, distribute, carefully watching the signs, and then 12x minus 3x is 9x, a negative 8 and a positive 21 is 13. Here we carefully distribute and group like terms. Now here we're starting to introduce this, instead of just giving us algebraic terms, we're using the word add. 2. So it just means combine these two, and we get this. Now here it says subtract. Well, there's our subtract, and it's this in parentheses from, we're adding to this. So here we're changing signs. Notice this becomes a negative 4m, and a negative 7 becomes a positive. So that when we add them, we end up with this. A good technique, if you are told to subtract something, just reverse the signs and add. So in these next few, again, we are dealing with phrases that we will convert to algebraic expression. So this is English into algebra. And we're going to use the letter X to represent the unknown. So 5 times a number, 5x, decreased is subtraction by 11. And that can't be simplified anymore. Here we have the sum of two numbers. And we need to put that in parentheses. And then that's going to be subtracted from 7 times the number right there. So this one's a little tricky. Again, there's your sum. We put sums in parentheses. And then since we're subtracting it, we put a negative sign in front. And then this is what is subtracted from. Then we remove the parentheses, group like terms, and we end up with this. Now here it's 6 times the sum of a number and 9, added to 9 times the number. I'm sorry, added to 4 times the number. I'm being distracted here. Okay, so we distribute this, and we get that, and then we add the 4, and we end up with this as our final answer. Okay, we still are under 10 minutes here. So here's a triangle. This is one side, and the third side. And since there's no subtractions, we don't have to change any signs. We're just going to group like terms. A 3x and a 2x give me a 5x. A negative 8 and a negative 9 give me a negative 17. Plus 7 give me a negative 10. Okay, this one was under 10 minutes.